Hi. Good day and I love you. How's everybody doing? I'm going to take my time for a second and get all my drinks set up and see who wants to join me this afternoon, since I just put on here that I was going to go live. I feel like I'm looking really far down. There we go. Is that better? Is that better? I feel like I'm looking like a zombie. I'm getting so crazy already. There we go. Da, 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 da. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Happy Labor Day. We're going to talk about that. It's Labor Day. I'm so silly. So, I've said this before, but just a refresher, I get super, super nervous before I come on here. Like, so nervous that I have to pee 20 times in 5 minutes. And I turn into absolute ridiculosity, which is not a word, but it's my word. So anyway, here we go. I made new booch today. All new flavors. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I shouldn't reveal it. I should keep it a secret. But I'm going to tell you, even though I haven't tasted it, but I know it's going to be amazing. I made blueberry basil booch. Doesn't that sound deliciously fresh? I think that sounds wonderful. That I'm drinking right there is strawberry blueberry. All right. So, let's take a second and do what we always do first. I have to rinse my teeth after that mixture I make. I've showed you guys before. Hey, in fact, I should talk about that for a second. Depending on where you are watching this, you are headed into the fall or headed into the spring. Wherever we are, we have a changing of the seasons happening, right? So usually people have some environmental adjustments. And so if you have, if you go through that, then you can go to my website and my blog and search Healer Tea. I'll put the link on here. If I don't, somebody remind me, please. And then you can make Healer Tea at home, which is a turmeric ginger tea filled with spices, and it is wonderful for seasonal allergies, inflammation, and healing your gut. It's absolutely wonderful for gut healing. So I mix it with a little bit of coffee, and I drink that. But it's so strong that I feel like it stains my teeth. So I have to rinse my mouth after I drink any. So that's why I do the swish afterwards. So anyway, I don't have my bowl in front of me. They're in the other room. So let's go ahead and just take a second. Put your left hand on your heart. Put your right hand on your left hand. Close your eyes. Let's breathe together. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And with your hands on your chest, especially if you're able to feel your heartbeat, say, I love you. To the beautiful source that streams within you and to all that is around you. And I love you. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me. You know, obviously, y'all know I don't think we say that enough, because that's why I say it all the time to everybody. And recently I've had so many people say to me, thank you for making I love you more normal. And I absolutely love that. When I was little, my mom used to say, Heather. I don't know why I gave my mom that voice. My mom so doesn't talk like that. My mom used to tell me to smile at the grocery store clerk and to pay attention and to smile, like look her in the eye. And my mom used to say, you never know what anybody's going through at any given time. And she'd say, you might be her only smile all day because people are in such a hurry. And that was a long time ago, because I'm 44. So, you know, people are exponentially in more of a hurry now. And people are not hearing I love you. And people are not taking time to connect. So I want you to know I really do love you, each and every one of you. So I'm going to tell you a story today. I'm going to tell you a story and just chat with y'all. And I think it's probably what some of us just need. We need to just take a few minutes and slow down and breathe and connect and listen to a story, right? So, today's Labor Day, right? And, you know, if for those, I have to interrupt myself here. For those who don't know, I create characters to become who I want to be. Call it delusional, I call it creative and genius. It's actually helping me heal myself. So I created the Chieftess, and the Chieftess has like all these chapters. And so lately I've been working on Honey, right? Well, Honey, I told Honey today it was Labor Day, and she said, it's Labor Day. Well, where is Passion Day? Where is Pleasure Day, right? Of course we have Labor Day. Well, where is the balance? Got no balance for the labor in the performance, do we? 'Tis the human race, right? So I wish y'all a happy Labor Day, but I hope everybody's getting a little bit of passion and a whole lot of pleasure. Because that's what we're here for. That's what heals us. And that's what makes us feel good. And truth be told, whether you know it or not, when you're feeling good, you're living well. You'll attract what you want. You'll be your best self, and things will just go better. So it behooves us to pay attention to our pleasure and to how we feel. So here's my story for you today. I was speaking with a man the other day, a beautiful, what I would call a very manly man. Like he's just a strong man. And he was saying that he has concern for his kids. He has concern for the world, for his children growing up. And I said, I just was listening to the way he said it. And I listen to a lot of people right now and how they see the world, and, excuse me, just the collective fear with all the things that are coming to light and all the transition that's happening on the earth right now. And I am quite the contrary. I'm like, woohoo, this is great. Things are coming to light and transition is happening. This is awesome, right? So, and I'm not a delusional masochist. So, I wanted to just share a little bit about why I feel the way I do and what I know that helps me stay in the solution. So, I'm not sure where that cut off. So I watched one of these back last time, and when that cuts out, I lose some time. So I will repeat what I said just in case it's off here. I'm going to share a little bit about what I understand to be the truth and what I've learned about and how I practice my life on a daily basis so that I can stay in the solution. So, for years, I have been wondering how much of the problem to share and how much of the solution, right? When you learn a whole lot about the problem, but if you just spread the problem, then you spread the problem, you know, and there's a fine line between talking about the problem and giving awareness and just begetting more of the problem, right? So for a long time, I've wondered how much of the problem do I share and how much of the solution, and how do you know? That's a whole other point. Anyway, I was reading this morning, and I meant to bring the book out here, and the quote, this is a paraphrase, is it kind? Is it true? Does it improve upon the silence? I believe was the quote I read. And I thought, wow, that's a really good thing to run by myself in terms of like, when you're asking yourself, you know, what to share, what to pay attention to, what to let come out your mouth, right? So with that this morning, I decided to share this story. And this is kind of a, I'm working on a short story right now. I'm always writing. I'm writing several things, but I'm working on a short story, and this is kind of a a loose adaptation of it. Anyway, so a long time ago, there were some, let's call them wizards. Let's call them butthole wizards from outside the realm of Pluto. And they came to Earth, where Earth had such symbiosis because Earth is a garden, you see, and she hosts creatures from different places at different times, and she just gives life. Her very body is life, and she gives the life to the creatures that are eating upon her and being upon her. So these wizards came here and saw all this happiness and saw all the natural resources here and decided that they were going to take some of it in the way they wanted. So they found Homo sapiens. I'm sorry, it was Homo erectus. And they messed with Homo erectus and they made themselves their own little creature, right? But before they did this, they studied the Homo erectus. They studied the symbiosis of things. For those who don't know what symbiosis means, it means the way things work together. The way that they work right, and the way everybody has what they want, what they need, when they need it, and when they want it. And it's available. And so they studied the unit of the family unit and the way things went for these creatures. And then they made a creature out of that one that served their purposes. And then it didn't take long with the new creatures to teach them a certain way and to teach them that this is the way you do things, whether it was beneficial or not. To teach them that this is the truth, whether it's the truth or not. And to teach them that these are the things that we engage in, even if perhaps they are against their very nature. But because creatures tend to do what other creatures do well, then we have a whole new way of being in these creatures here that is not necessarily beneficial, right? And time goes on for a little while, and this less than beneficial behavior continues. Well, less than beneficial behavior continuing and more less than beneficial behavior becomes a whole lot less than beneficial, right? Which is the nice way of saying it gets really crappy. Until it becomes so problematic that, well, things just don't make sense anymore. And everybody starts saying, oh my goodness, what is going on? Like, this is just nuts, right? This is nuts. Nothing makes sense. Nothing's working right. And everything's upside down. And it seems so bad to the creatures at the time because the creatures only know what was before and what is now. And it seems like things are just getting worse, right? So, sorry. So with these creatures that are so distraught because they've been taught this way of living and it seems so upside down and it seems so very out of whack and it seems so past the point of getting better. But what those creatures don't know is the way that they were taught, these ways that are breaking, these ways that they have been, I hesitate to use that word, led to believe are the ways that they should operate are against their very nature. So while the creatures are thinking that, it's a shit show with the collapse, the truth is that the collapse of these ways of being allow them to get back to their very nature. Because without being able to depend upon these false ways that they were taught, then they'll have to figure out something else. And they'll have to revert back to even their primal essence. They'll have to really tune into themselves to get answers that are no longer available in books and bodies and systems and structures. And they'll have to become aware in a way that they have not done before. They will have to become aware of themselves. They will have to become aware of those around them and how they fit into their communities in an entirely new way. Now, meanwhile, while this is happening, this change within the creatures, the earth herself is a living thing, and she is growing and changing and evolving and loving and spinning and moving like she always is. Everybody knows she's always moving, right? Well, she is conscious and she is watching all this. And we've heard about old times called the Dark Ages. Well, let's just say that on the earth, all this stuff that's going on, all this craziness on the earth, it feels dark to her. And all these creatures that are participating in this dark behavior that is not beneficial, that is not in line with nature, that is not of natural evolution. She's tired of it because it hurts her. It hurts her physically. It hurts her consciously. Because who wants to see your own creatures hurting? You want to see your babies not doing well? No. No mama would do that, right? No right mama anyway. So the earth herself decides she is going to increase her vibration so that all creatures on her planet have to live in symbiosis. They have to live in love. She ain't going to give them a choice. She tired of the dum-dum. So mama shake it up a little bit. Mama increase her vibration. And as she does, the earth starts changing, doesn't it? The climate's changing. Things are changing with creatures. And the creatures that are living against their nature say, oh my God, everything's out of whack. We got to save it. Because that's what they do. But all the other creatures, they just continue adjusting and evolving like all the other creatures in harmony with nature do. And so, if the creatures that are living against their nature want to get with nature, they can, because they are of her. They are of this planet. They are of this natural way of being. Once they remember how, and that's all it is, simply a remembering. And that's what's going on right now. All this stuff that's coming to light right now, all of these things that are coming to light in the news, for some of the things that some of you see on my social media and my stories, I don't post those because I think they're cool. I post those because we have to see what's going on in order to release it. And so we need to be conscious of what's going on around us, because you see, we've lived for too long without being conscious of what's going on, and without being conscious of the fact that we're living against our nature, and that we are forfeiting our own power, and that we are in effect creating the problematic society, community, and systems that are toxic and poisoning us. And then we're crying about it, hoping that someone will change it for us. But if we want to get with the program, we can. And it starts on an individual basis. Each of us gets the opportunity to evolve each and every day, right? In multiple ways. Quite simply, we're getting the chance right now to evolve our biology. Our bodies are changing. This earth is changing. If that sounds so crazy, how's the climate where you live? Has it ever been like that? Right? Well, just as she's changing, we're changing too. Well, we're changing if we do the things we need to do to change. Otherwise, we're not. And it's not going to feel good if we don't. If we live in resistance right now, it's going to get really difficult. So, the good news of all of this is, if we were worried about the world as it is right now, and we were worried about our children, and we were worried about the future, I can give you, from my own personal belief and my own personal understanding, the utmost assurance that a brighter day is assured. Because it's not that any of these things that are happening right now are new. They are old. You remember how I started that story about them butthole wizards that came from the realm past Pluto? Have you ever heard the word Plutocratic Society? Have you ever wondered where that word came from? Well, I play with words. I started wondering about that word a long time ago. Then I started surfing. And then I went down lots of holes, them rabbit holes, and I found out a whole lot. So anyway, this stuff's been going on a long time. A really, really long time. Past what I think most people can really fathom, understand, and accept right now. And so the good news is once you see something, you can release it. You can choose to let it go. And so each of us has this process happening on an individual basis. We are each being met right now with relationships, projects, thoughts and beliefs of self, thoughts and beliefs thoughts and beliefs about the world around us that are no longer serving us. They're no longer useful, right? And so, for example, what I mean by that is, if you think you're a loser and, you're not a beautiful child of God, that's not serving you, okay? And so that's going to continue to get exponentially more painful. because it's not for your highest good to have that belief, right? And it's not like a freaking nastiness, a vindictive hurt. It's that you got to let that go. You got to decide you're a beautiful child of God so you can get with your highest good. You know what I mean? Or if you have relationships right now that are stifling your creativity or holding you back from really fulfilling the desires of your heart, they're going to feel pretty stifling right now. And so each of us have these individual aspects that we're facing where we're being invited to meet and greet what's no longer working, and then to say, thank you, I love you, thanks for the learning, and let it go. And that's what we're doing as a collective. And I'm sharing this because if you can reframe what you see, you can stay in the solution. If you can meet and greet what you're seeing, right? And say, oh, that's heinous. But know that it's on its way out. Like, I personally believe this is what Jesus was talking about when he said, turn the other cheek. I mean, to think that Jesus needed to turn his cheek to avoid an insult is low consciousness and silly at best. That would mean Jesus was reactive and really cared that you tried to insult him. And I don't think he did. I think Jesus was saying, see the problem with one eye, but then see the solution with the other, with your mind's eye, with your heart field, with your consciousness, with your hands, with your actions. Acknowledge the problem. Keep it moving in the solution, right? So when we see these things coming to light right now, instead of shutting down and calling 10 people and talking about it, acknowledge, whoo, more of the bullshit coming to light. Thank God we're having a cleansing. And then get in the solution. Call someone in your neighborhood, in your community to do something good at that point. Break that energy and step into the solution in your own personal field first, then in your family, in your home, and then in your community. Think about that right there. Think about the difference in cycle right there. If we go from, oh my God, I just saw something on the news that absolutely blows my mind. I freaking can't deal with this. This is absolutely horrific. I'm going to call up 5 people and talk about this. Do you know on an energetic basis what's happening there? What's happening there is you're feeding the problem, okay? My big powerhouse energetic self is putting, like, almost as if I was paying money. I'm putting energy on the problem with every person I call, and then I talk about it. But I could, with one eye, say, damn, that's heinous. And with the other one, say, God is, right? And that shit is on its way out. And then I can call up my friends and be like, do you want to meet in the park and have a picnic? And then where does my energy go to? Making community. If we make a community so fortified where you know your neighborhood and everybody knows your kids and you know theirs, how safe is that place? You got a legion of light filling the streets then where darkness can't hide. But that's not what happens. What's going on now? There's all sorts of loopholes where things are, we got to fortify ourselves instead of waiting for the outside to change and paying so much attention to what's going on right now that is honestly on its way out. It is appropriate that we are seeing what we are seeing. It is I believe that God gives us what we are ready for, whether we feel like it or not. That's been my personal experience time and time again. And I don't think any of us feel ready for what we're experiencing right now. This has really been an intense time for a while now, hasn't it? This energy has really been lots of change for quite a while, right? And yet, we're still here and we're still trucking. And more of us, I think, are doing more things to connect with ourselves and connect with others. And many of us are, broken down inside to a point where we are receptive for loving and receiving love like we haven't been before. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. So I invite you to reframe what you're seeing right now and what you're experiencing with more love. Bring more love to it. Bring more love. Know that the junk is on its way out. It's good that we're experiencing it. And we are capable. We're so capable. We're totally capable. We're capable of a solution. We are the solution each and every day. That we choose to pay attention to ourselves. We choose to pay attention to our families. We choose to pay attention to our surroundings. We create community. We create connection. And we create the solution each and every day. So there's my little share for you today. I also wanted to tell you guys about my OnlyFans page. So I have loved all of the responses I have got from y'all. Talk about a social experiment, hearing from everybody. So many opinions. Some of you saying, no, it's not you. Well, how do you know? Because you don't even know what I'm going to do and not do. Oh, my goodness. Facebook is going to undergo another update, I believe on October 1st, where they are allowed to censor our content. And depending on what I'm talking about, I don't know how that will go. It will be good for me to have another platform where I can share more of what I want to share. Share me, share my body, share my ideas, share all of that in the way that I choose to do it. So if you want to know what that's like, you're going to have to come there and see it. And I hope you do. That will be live tonight. What else did I want to tell you guys? I can't remember. I think that's it. I'm going to pull a card for us. I hope everybody takes some time to get some passion and pleasure today. The reason I'm going to start preaching on that so much is we have a worldwide lockdown on the sacral chakra, but especially in the United States, I'd say we really do, yes. And when your sacral chakra is shut down, when it's on lockdown mode, it affects, when any chakra, do I have my thing right there? Here's my thing, ready? When any of your chakras are not balanced, it's going to affect your energetic health first, and if it's not tended to, it's going to affect your physical health, okay? So with the sacral chakra, which is this one right there, that's the root at the bottom, and this is the pleasure center. So when we're not getting enough pleasure, and when we're not getting our needs met in that way, it does affect our health. It can affect your bladder. It can affect your colon from about L1. I'm sorry. About, I'd say possibly L1, but more like L3. L3 into S1 of your lower back. If you've got bulging discs, if you've got thickening of the bladder, if you've got colon issues, if you've got reproductive organ issues, if you've got impotence and issues with orgasm, any of those things are sacral chakra issues. So one of the things that you can start doing for yourself today is to start taking 5 minutes of pleasure every day. Now, that does not mean, it does not have to be intimate pleasure. For everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe she's talking about that. Yo, it doesn't have to be that. I can sit here and take my hair up against my face and give myself pleasure with how good that feels. Y'all can find pleasure in everything, and if you can't, you best get started, because life is so much better once you can. So, I will post my page tonight, and then I hope you guys will join me. And what else? I think that's all for now. Let's see here. I love it. Okay. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. What a pretty card. And it's the unique verse. Right? Thanks so much for joining me. If y'all would like for me to talk about something in particular, you can put it in the comments here, or you can send it to chieftessliving@gmail.com, and I will chat about what you'd like. I'm ready to start chatting about many of the things that some of you have been asking me to talk about for years. I had to digest a lot of information until I was ready to share. And I'm ready to share now. That's also why I'm writing. So, thank you so much for joining me. Go get your pleasure. And I will see you on the next Chieftess Chat. If you want to talk to me, send me an email at chieftessliving@gmail.com, and y'all look for my fans only page tonight, and then come see me and spend time with me. I love you. I love you. I love you.